Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening somewhere. And today we start off as usual looking at the American dollar. And anybody wants to see anything else, please shout it out. We will go after it in a heartbeat. We love deviating. And so, let's see, what do we got? You know what? Let me turn the chat line on so I can see if anybody wants me to look at something. That would help. And so, let's see. Let's go like that. I see Robin. Yo, traders. I see George. Good morning. I see Storm. Doc is in the house. Yo, Storm. And let's see. Let's get the dollar index up there. Where is it at? I just saw it. I had it up there and it disappeared. There it is. I wanted to see what the euro was doing. Again, dollar lifting up again. I was playing around. I was cleaning up our charts this morning, because now we're in September, so I go after. I try to clean up every day, but I got the December contracts now in the 30-year and the 10-year, and it's kind of interesting. Definitely more interesting. And open interest is enormous. It's in the millions. So it is fascinating right there alone. But yeah. What Storm says. Remember last week, as I said, they just prepping for a sell-off. This is true. 10 minutes. You got to take it down. 10 minutes later, boom. Yes, indeed. Now I was listening to Michael Lee, which is usually been. He's been really good for years now, and he was like buy before and buy after, and I was like, wow, that is that's profound, and sure enough, it rallied before, it rallied after, and then smash-o. Now I keep on hearing the same thing, Storm, and that is that the Europeans are really making an exit. They're really getting out. They're selling stuff. But yeah, you're right. That was Smash-o City. I don't know. I was in a daily sell, so I don't. When we go back, and the end result is I always have to. When in doubt, I know one thing for sure. When I throw an opinion in there, it's like, yeah. But when I just follow the math, that's where it's at, because the 26th, and then there's the 26th, and bang away it goes, and now we're pressing. This is the S&P, and you can see that there. It's the pressure's on. But it hasn't made another 1,000 yet, but it's trying. I guess it's getting closer. So it fell from 4,200 and change down to 4,042. So about 160 some odd points. And so another 160 points down would be 3830, 3840, and we are at 3932. So we have more work to do for another slide of the same number. But it sure does look like it wants to do that. It looks like it just keeps on wanting to fall. Jackson Hole was, I think that it was interesting is that, first of all, the markets got panicky before Powell spoke days ahead of time. And then when Powell said that he was going to speak not after the market closed on Friday, but at the morning opening of Friday, that put even more confidence into the market. But, boy, you're right. It just got smashed. It went down. Down, down, down it goes. And you got to take it down to take it up, and you got to take it up to take it down. And that seems to be what we're seeing here, is they're taking it down. And the question is, does it go after the lows here at around 3,600 on the S&P? For the Dow, we're talking about, going down to, what is that down there? Where's it at again? Right there. Down to the 29,500 or 600 area. Say the 600 and change. It was about that 639. So, another 1,500 points will bring us back down to, I guess, about 1,800 points will bring us back down to that area, 1,700, about 1,700 points. So another 1,700 points. It'll be interesting to see. And then I'll be making new lows, And let's see if they keep on doing it. Notice we are going into that weekly sell at the moment. And we've been in the daily sell for a bunch of days here now. 6 of them. So, that pressure is still on. And you are right. It is going down, 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 down. All right. From there, we shoot over to... what was it? We were looking at the dollar. So they're buying dollars again. I just want to go back to the euro. Let's go back to the euro again. Just close that. There we are. And there's the euro. Oh, no, that's the short term. There it is. So there's a dollar index there at the highs of the day. And the euro is making a decent little slide down again. I don't... Yeah, just the whole action in the euro, which seems to be the leader out of this whole thing of lately. Kind of surprises me. Matter of fact, now, you know what that wants me to... In my head, I want to jump over to... What was it? Jordan was asking? Who was asking yesterday about the Euro Swiss? Let's go to the Euro Swiss. Because I want to keep track of that. Because I find it interesting. There's the Euro Swiss. Not really. It's down a little bit. Some interesting action. Now, what is that? I don't think... Oh, I see. I got to hit play. That's what it is. There we are. And so... the action we see in this marketplace is, to me, odd. It is definitely odd. The action itself is very odd. I guess there's pressure, enormous pressure on the market to, I guess, take, we're in recession. Looks like we're going to go a second quarter in a recession. And I guess, money is moving further and further away from the equities because of that. Let's see. Let me put this up on the screen right there. And that is about it. I don't know if I have any more to be able to say, really, about all that, because I don't have a strong opinion. It just seems like that is the nature of it all at this point. And when it comes to a strong opinion about it, I'm just looking at it as noise. If we go from, what was the all-time highs, about 38,000, and we're down to 30,000. Right now we're at 31,000. It does make sense. We're in a recession. You would think that the markets will start to anticipate. Again, if it wasn't for this election situation, I think the markets would be much more stable. I think that's what it really comes down to. I think there's an underlying theme constantly of buyers. That's what's odd about it all. Revised second quarter production cost 4.1, estimated to be 4.5. Productivity. Okay, so the numbers came out today of 4.1 actual versus a minus 4.5. Oh, wait a minute. Was that a plus? Wait a minute. I need to read that again. Labor numbers 10.2 actual versus 10.7 estimated. So labor numbers dropped. 10 years yielding 3.24 basically. Let's see. So initial jobless claims 232, actual estimated 248. Nothing major there. I want to see that productivity number again. Let's see if it pops around the corner. When it comes around the corner, we'll look at it again. So, let's go over to the stock market. Show it to you real quick. You see the S&Ps are down 24. They're bouncing off of their lows of today. There's the S&P, the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there. So there's your lows in the first hour of the European market. And they're trying to get back down there again. I guess they were lifting it up. And then the Americans come in around 6 our time. And then they start putting pressure on it. Revised second quarter productivity costs. So costs were 4.1 costs. And then I guess they were expecting it to be 4.5. So cost went down. I guess that's what they're saying. Bitcoin's trading under 2,000. But then that seems to always march along with the stock market. Matter of fact, it seems to be almost predicting the stock market at times. Over the year itself, not too bad. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down about 13%. I understand they were down 4% for last month. Can you look at the Nikkei? Yeah, I looked at that this morning early too. It was down. Let's check it out. I thought we found it in a sell a couple days ago. There it is right there. Yeah, so Nikkei has been in a sell for 5 days now. And it's flirting with the weekly sell right there. There you are. So that's what that is. And it looks like they're trying to break it down more. Whereas the other indices, the Tech 100 is cleanly through the weekly. The S&P 500 fairly cleanly through the number. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average cleanly through it with no problem. So the pressure is on. Yeah, I don't... the Nikkei, I'd imagine, is just following the world equity markets at this point. Right there. But, whereas we've been looking at a Nikkei that's been flirting with some, the 30,000 area. Let's put it up on J4X. It'll give us a more historical look at it. Right there. Let's make the whole thing there. Okay, so back in 21, they had it up to about 30,000 and change. And we've been hanging right around just underneath it. It started to make, I don't know about that or that, but it's made it a new higher high. So it's trying the bottom in here. You can see the technical side of it. Look at that. It's down at the bottom. Down at a couple year lows, basically. Since oh no, this is the daily. Okay, let's go back into a weekly. Yeah, so there's all the way back to 2000. So we really are looking at some of the best numbers we've seen in a long time on the Nikkei itself. I mean, just this last year and a half, it's been, playing around with this area, playing around with the 30,000, which is pretty cool since, it died at the 39,000, hasn't seen that in decades. Nikkei seems to mirror the movement of the other indices, just not as strong. Yeah. Well, I guess what was interesting about the Nikkei, was back in the late 80s when the stock market crashed here in the States and then started to climb again. The Nikkei went to 39,000, and then it rolled over and went down to like 8,000. And the rest of the world did not do that. They didn't crush it like that. And then about 20 years later, in 2008, the stock market fell down to about 6,000 from 12,000. But the Nikkei had gone from 39,000 down to 8,000. So it was, you're right. It went, it was much more painful. So, I keep on thinking about the yen, because of the way their currency went from 500 yen and 800 yen to the dollar to, 100 yen to the dollar to 70 yen to the dollar, that type of thing. So I guess that's an inflation? No, it's the other way around. It gained against the dollar really well. So it only took 70 yen to buy a dollar, whereas at one time it took 500 yen to buy the dollar. Let's see how far back the yen goes on this, on J4X. Let's see, dollar yen right there. And now back in 2008, it was around 125. And I wonder where can we go to get even further. I wonder if I can adjust this. If we go monthly, can we do quarterly? Let's do monthly and see what happens. Yeah, see, that's still showing that. Anyway, I kind of remember the old days when it was up in the 5 and 600s, back in the 70s and the 80s. So that is really the whole crutch of it all. You wonder that relationship. In other words, obviously, in many ways, the Nikkei is much more valuable. So the Nikkei literally came down to adjust for the currency. That's what I'm thinking. So in other words, when it got down to 39, excuse me, it got down to 39,000. Went from 39,000. It was trading much higher. It was in the hundreds. So, what we've seen the currency drop pretty dramatic. Like 3 times, 4 times fold. So it kind of matches the fall of the Nikkei in many ways. Oh, it's this. See, if I'm right, it should be on the last low before the rocket will start. Interesting. And what's what, the Nikkei or just the DAX, not the Dow, the DAX? Yeah, I would think that we're coming into the lows of a lot of this stuff. I think if they, there's a couple of fundamentals and we can't really trust them anymore to be really worth paying attention to. But the energy fundamental, so that economies can grow. When energy becomes more abundant, it allows more productivity, which means more earnings, which means the value should increase. That seems to be what is in the back of my head when it comes to that. Hence why I like to follow the math instead and not really try to figure out the fundamentals. Let's see if we can put the DAX up there. I saw it in there too. Where is that? I saw we had the DAX on there at one point. Where did that? There it is. DAX one day. Now we have it as an ETF, so that's how we can see it. We don't really get the futures contract, but that is there's the DAX there. It's the ETF, and I guess there's a multiplier, so you can figure out, the DAX itself, then multiply, 2237. Since the euro is almost at parity with the dollar, it doesn't really the influence of currency doesn't really have much of an influence at all. So that's the DAX there, and the DAX has been in a weekly sell for 2 weeks. Notice that. So, and at the same time, let's widen this out. Let's see, style. Let's make that thick, like that. There we are. You can see that. That. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there. And then let's fix this one too. Make that thick. Right there. So it's been in a weekly sell for 2 weeks now. Matter of fact, it's like 2.5 weeks right there. So this thing, the DAX fell into the sell faster than everybody else. Did you notice that, Storm? When you watching the DAX? Oh, shoot. Thank you. There we go. So there it is there. Let's see. Let's put some lines in there. Now that's interesting. It goes into the daily sell there, but we're in a weekly buy, so you're neutral. And then it goes into a buy there, right there. And it goes nowhere. As we say here, we live and die by our numbers every day. And then it gets into a sell here. So it goes into the buy there, and it barely just touches where it went into the buy. That's about it, and then falls down. And then it goes into a sell, but we're in the sell at that point, so that's cool. Let's see if it's that one or this one here. It's that one right there. So it goes into the sell here, and there's your 10-minute blast. Bang, it goes. No, that's not. That's it right there. And then it goes into the buy here. Can't take it, of course. And then you can see it go like that. So there's the buy, and it goes up the next day, and then dies at Jackson Hole. It's been in the sell since. And that's been kind of an interesting thing. The DAX itself is fascinating. Let's see. In the DAX, check the downfall 2020 and the recovery after that. The pullback after the first push to the upside is almost a clone of the last days and weeks. Let's see if we can go back and look at that. In 2020. All right, let's do this. Since it's an ETF, oh yeah, look at it. I got 1,000 days in there. So cool. All right, let's go back there. 2020. What is that? That is when in 2020. There's July of 2020. Like this here. Goes into a weekly sell. Let's move that over. Goes into the weekly sell up in here. And that daily sell was started up there. And then the buy is what? There. Let me just put that over there like that. Then the sell is right there. And does it go into the buy there? It goes flat there. Let's push that over like that. Or I guess it's flat. It was no numbers at all, so it's still in a sell. I guess we can take, like, I'm going to just leave that right there so I can remember it. And then move that over. Let's see. There's your buy is there. Let's move that sell over to here. Let's see what Storm says. Have you figured out the date in 2020? This is October of 2020. It was in the sell and went from, on one of the sells, went from 28 down to 25. That has to be a big move on the DAX, you know? That could be it right there. In October of 2020. Made a nice move in June and July from 2,400 to 29, almost 30. That's a pretty powerful move. Let's see. There. Let's move that one out of the way. Right there. Move that one over to there. That's in a sell. It goes into a buy. Goes back into the sell right there. Goes back into the buy right there. And then another sell. And then another buy. Right there. I'm going to put that sell right there. And we'll take that buy and stick it right there. And move that over and move this one back right there and there. It's very short-lived. I mean, a couple days up is nice, and that's it. And it goes into a sell on this one, which is cool because the next day they slam the daylights out of it. And then there's a lot of room after that. Yeah, Storm, if you can figure out when in October, we'll compare the two, you know? And there's the DAX all the way to there. Interesting. Yeah, I'd be perplexed if I was investing in Europe. I'd be, like, we did see the natural gas drop down into the 27s yesterday. That's a positive. But I keep on hearing stories. As I try to sip water and talk. I keep on hearing stories about what is it? It's energy is almost impossible to get a hold of. I mean, they're doing all kinds. Well, California's doing the same strange things too with their green people. Like, they outlawed gas automobiles, and then yesterday they announced that electric automobiles should not charge during the day. So, I don't know. None of it makes any sense to me. All right, let's get back to the currency unless someone wants to see something in the indices again. From there, let's take a look at the euro finally again. You see it's trying to go back down to that base area there. Let's get over to J4X. There it is right there. Make this bigger for a second so I can get us back to where we were. There it is. So J4X is trying to break down. You can see the green line is breaking through the dashed line, and we just have to wait for the hinky to turn there. Over here on the Chicago Quant, they've already made the turn. So we'll see, and it's playing with a minus when it comes to the green line. But it would be curious what part of the year. It looks like it's that October of 2020. All right, from there we go to British Pound. Wow. Look at that. That is something. The pressure is on it. Let's see, right there. And as you can see there, same situation with the J4X. The pressure's on. Look at all that red. Just like us. All that red. Look at it. It doesn't give up. We had a couple of volatility days. That's about it. And it tried to pop on that. But really rolling over in 3 weeks in the sell. It's come down from the 120s. 122s, 123s. And down to 115. Wow. Talk about a smash. That's a smash. Now from there, let's go take a look at the Swiss, the actual dollar Swiss. Right there. There it is there. You can see all the green going up. Same thing here. Lots of green. And which is, again, it makes it interesting from yesterday when we were looking at the Swiss or the Euro Swiss, how much it's holding firm and taking that ride up and away. Today it's just a little unchanged, the minus a little bit. We'll just go look at it one more time since we're looking at Swiss. There's Euro Swiss right there. And it looks like it will make it into the weekly buy this week too. And that daily buy has been an interesting one, very strong. Let's see what it looks like on J4X. Yep, powering up. It's at the top end of the range, too. Well, that's the Euro Swiss. Now let's jump over to the Turkish Lira. See what they're doing with that today. With the strength and everything else, you have to assume that they're taking out new all-time highs in the Turkish Lira. There's dollar Turkish Lira. Woo! What's that all about? Look at that. They tried to slam it down. That didn't last long, did it? And the high today is 1822. Yesterday's high is 1823. And now we're looking at the Euro Turkish Lira. Right there. Holding strong also, just like the dollar one. 1824. It's amazing that they're trading at parity. It really says a lot about the whole marketplace. So there is that. Then let's jump over to CAD. And there's your CAD going after like the high of the highs of the last couple years. And second week in a buy. And then let's just take a look at it over here on oil first. And then we'll go to... So there it is. So oil is dropping. That's usually the recipe. When this thing's going up, oil normally is dropping. And we'll throw Canadian up there. Right there. And let's go take a look at oil over here. Yeah, see it's down again today. And that pressure's on. Energy, it's awful hard to believe anybody would sell energy. But, you know, someone's got to take a profit. And obviously someone's got to then they can step back up, I guess. That's the way it usually works. You got to take some money in. Got to make a profit. All right, from there, we go to the South African Rand. And we'll look at gold at the same time. Right there is South African Rand. Higher than yesterday, just staying firm in there, holding that second week of the weekly buy. Then we'll take that. We'll do the same thing over here. We'll go to J4X and we'll look at the gold. You see the gold pressuring down, and you can see the Rand rising up. They're doing what they're supposed to do. And now we'll go over to the South African Rand. Right there. There we are. You see the strength in it, like there. Because, why? Because this gold is going down right there. And that seems to be the recipe out of it all. 14 days in a sell now. A lot of pressure. Pushed back into the weekly. After just 3 weeks in a buy, it went nowhere. So we go into the weekly buy. And as we go into the weekly buy, we go into a daily sell. And never gives you a chance to get long. Amazing math sometimes. And... sometimes you're long, sometimes you're short, and sometimes you're just neutral. That's what it is. Then from there, we go over to... Okay, let's go like that. And then from the South African Rand, we go to the yen. There's the yen, making, I don't know, 3-decade highs, that type of thing. Up in the 139 area. Today's high was 139.70. And let's put it up over here too. Right there. Holding very firm. So now we've got, the Nikkei kind of sloppy following the rest of the world markets. And we got the currency, the yen, going to 3-decade highs. Then, let's see, where else are we? So we got the yen. Let's go to the south of our border. We'll check out the Mexican peso. Yesterday it was bouncing up. It was playing with the 2-3. Yeah, it's backed off, I guess. There's right there. Still playing with the 2-3. Just a little bit firmer, but still hanging around that 2-3 for the third day now. Maybe the fourth if you really want to look at it. You got to figure here. We go into buy here. Go into the buy right here on a daily basis. And then you see the next day it goes up and bangs against the 2-3 and falls back, then goes and plays with it and closes there. And then now it's really stuck there. Look at it. For 3 days it's stuck there. Then, let's see. Oh, that's it. That's the end of it all. All right, from there, if anybody does want to see any of the currencies, just let us know. We'll tune into them. All right, from there, we jump over to, let's see, where is it at? Let's go like this. Let's go to see silver. We saw gold. So let's see what silver looks like. Right there, there's silver. Still pressing down, going, it's what, dropped down to about 17.5 today. Right there, there's silver. And that pressure is on that product, and it doesn't seem to want to let go of it. That's the amazing part. So, silver, we thought silver and gold will get going in the last quarter. So I'm thinking that, September is the finishing off of this quarter, and they're doing their best to come under new lows for the year almost. Another sip of the tea. Tea is done now. You won't hear me playing with my food or my drink. Let's put it that way. All right. And so there's silver. Let's make it larger. I want to see a little bit more. So we're looking at, what are we looking at here? It's silver. We're looking at, that's 2020 in the second quarter. So we're looking at almost 2.25 years. They're challenging the lows now. I would be surprised if we got below the 17s, come down to the low, high 16s and maybe turn around. That'll open the doorway for buying. As I was saying to Robin yesterday, it seems to me that that's what they want to do. Is they want to start it. They know that interest rates are going to start to back off over the next 6 months. We know that part. We know that if nothing else, we end up with a solid split government that gets nothing done. That alone is a good thing. And then that can stop a lot of the inflation. So then from there, interest rates might start to flatten out to go down. If nothing else, flatten out. That will put pressure on the metals to go up. And then, at the same time, depending on how the election plays out, we'll see. We'll have a better feel for it all. But at this moment in time, to me, I just see strength going into the end of this quarter. Or let's put it this way: buying should start to appear anywhere from late September to mid-November, like a 6-week period. It should start to find a bottom. And so that's really where we're at the moment. And I just don't see any other direction out of it. Is they have to take it down so that they can let it fly back up again, but not from the highs, but from the lows. Then everybody can turn around and say, oh, well, look at this. The strength is there. It's been good. And they'll talk about how gold is, moving up again, especially if they could start that rally in late or mid-November for the last 6 weeks, and gold comes back up to, say, 18 and a half or something like that, and then when it runs to 24, 25, they can say gold is up for the year, or I'm sorry, silver is up for the year, and gold is up for the year, in 2023. And that seems to me the rhythm of it. That's just an opinion. Obviously, in the end result is we follow the math. And we've seen, here we are in silver, for 4 weeks we've been in weekly buys, and it's been stalled. It has not been able to do anything but go from 20 to 21. So every buy has been fair or, okay. The last one was, actually the last one was okay, but it wasn't fantastic because you're talking about, going into a buy in like 1908 and trading as high as 19 or 8. Let me go back to that again. 1908 and trading as high as 1938. I mean, you're only talking about 25 and 35 cents in there, or cents, not even a dollar. And this one was all right. This buy here on the 5th of June. I'm sorry, August. Is that August? Yeah, August. 5th of August, where it went from $20 in just a matter of a couple of days. It went to almost 21, 20.89. 4 days it got to almost 21. So, and then it tried to throw us back into a buy again, and they slammed it right there. Is that really true? Let me just go check that out. Go look on another chart. Silver. That is DEX silver. So let's do this. When is that? That is the 12th. It's a pop there. Oh, I see. So that needs to be fixed. That was really a high of 1818. Let me just put that in there and fix that. $18.18 load. And that's the 15th of August, right there. And the chart says it was. Okay, cool. Just see this here. That doesn't look right. Why am I seeing? Oh, that's gold. I got the wrong ones in there. Let's try this again. Silver. Silver, 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 silver. Right there. Okay, that's what it is. There we go. We'll fix this. 9, 8. Let's go with 9, 9. That'll make it look better. There we are. So that was the pressure that we saw there. So that's our opinion on the metals, but and more than that is we're just watching the math, and that's been the safest way to play it at this point. And that's just where we're at now. When it comes to, I guess the next one would be copper. Let's see what they're doing with the copper contract. I mean, yesterday we've shown you, unfortunately, China's having issues as usual. And one of their big issues now is they're having problems with the inventory. So in other words, they have their vaults loaded with stuff and they find that it's not there. So it's like on a punch board or something is following it or it's showing it, but then when they go to find it, it doesn't exist, or it's fake. It's bars colored in one thing, but it's not other. Like they find steel bars painted copper. Right there, there's copper. Still showing more of that pressure for the fourth day, and we are on the edge of trying to get into that sell. And I don't know, somehow or another, I think that we're going to take out the lows. I could see us dropping another 25 cents. All right, from there, let's see what we got there. There's there, and that is that. Okay, good. I can see that. So from there, let's take a look at platinum. I know normally we do that on Fridays, but it looks like last I saw platinum, was it Tuesday? Yeah, it's cleanly through the weekly sell, so the pressure is on. Platinum usually leads this whole thing. Leads all the metals in the end. All right, from there we go over to the energies, and there is October crude. Let's put it up over here. Right there. 87.62. And then let's put Brent up now, right there. And that's also, $6 difference. You can see that. Let's just take a look at what I found fascinating is we've got November oil playing with the sell, and December is still in the buy. So like there's December. You can see it's holding up, but when we look at November, let me just double check that's all good. We'll compare it to another outside source. But where's my November at? There it is, right there. That's the one that caught my eye. This action there. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I'll take a look at it after the webinar, but I find that fascinating in the sense that it's just hanging around underneath. The daily is pressed in on the sell side, and so is the weekly. And that says a lot to me. Something's going on. In other words, there's a supply and demand thing going on in November, which is really October, because the thing expires in October. Crude oil, and let's see what November looks like again. Make sure the chart matches up. So that. I see what's messing it up, which is not going to mess it up, I don't think. This one right here is, the high is 92.26. So 92.26. The weekly is still going to be pressing down. Okay, let's see what we can do there. Okay, let's try this again. And that pushes a little bit. Is that 92? It's not 92. Let's put it in there. Still going to be putting pressure on the weekly. There's no doubt about that. Okay. Let's try this. There it is. And right there's 92. So the weekly's going to literally maybe even sink more. No, okay, let's try that one more time. Yeah, see, it's still pressing down. Interesting. There must be something going on for delivery. It would make sense to me that it's delivery situation. All right, from there we go over to, let's see, what do we do? Let's go take a look at the natural gas. Let's see what they're doing with the natural gas. So in the United States, natural gas is right there. We're trading up a little bit today. I think we were at 8.9 yesterday. Now it's at 9.1. So let's take a look at European natural gas. Still in the 27s. I think we saw it at 27.57 yesterday. It's at 65, so that's not bad at all. It's nice to see it pressing down. I saw all those, the Chinese bought natural gas from Russia and instantly took it to the European Union. So that's pretty cool. Let's just show you natural gas on here. And there it is, nat gas. October. Just pressure on it right now. All right. From there, we can slide over to the stock indices again. And let's see, let's go like that. And then you can see here, this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, down 156. No real buyers at all, kind of quiet. You see the S&P, this is the Tech 100. That's kind of plateaued. There it is right there, Tech 100 on J4X. Let's take a look at it on a daily too. There it is right there. So that pressure's been on since Jackson Hole with everybody. And the weekly is really showing that the pressure is on with that. And we're seeing the same thing with the S&P 500 right there. Let's widen that a little bit. There we are. So, as Storm said and everybody else around here, they're just breaking them down. They're going to keep on breaking them down until they can stop it. I'd imagine we have on this maybe a couple more weeks. You'd imagine there'd be some type of dead cat bounce, September, or they're just going to keep on selling it and pressing it down, and then we'll see if it comes down and takes care of these lows over in here. That's what we'll keep an eye on more than anything else. I guess right now it's banging off the top end of that range where it made support and climbed. Now we've come down to the bottom of it today. See how the Dow Jones Industrial Average looks like that. Yeah, it looks like it's beyond it. I guess this is it right there. But we're still, feeling the pressure on the downside on all these things. They're definitely not getting them going, that's for sure. All right. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin. It's flirting with the daily buy. It's just right on the edge. And, since back in here it went into the weekly sell. So this is going to be a third week closing in it. And we don't really see much going on with the cryptos except for they seem to, in other words, they're not breaking away. What they're doing is they're starting to lead the stock market. So when the, money comes into it, and then they go and if it's buying, then they go in and buy the stocks. If it's selling, then they go and sell the stocks. So there's no really guessing game that goes on with the way the cryptos are. They are part of the equity world on some level or another, and they seem to almost lead it more than follow it. Strange, but that's the way it works. Sometimes you see markets try to establish independence. And we're not seeing that out of the cryptos at this point. They're astonishing in the sense of what they can do. But they are truly a new asset class more than they are a currency. Way more. And being an asset class that can be transferred without dealing with the Federal Reserve or your local bank, that's the fascinating part. That's the uniqueness of it. That's what's driving the buyers towards it or the sellers in a given day. So we're flirting just underneath the $20,000 area. And I really don't expect to see it, fall down to 12 or 13 unless the stock markets show that same type of weakness. This is basically where the bottom or the lows were 2 years ago when it was, coming out of 2019. And now we are almost coming out of 2022, with only less than 4 months away now. And we find, the crypto is basically playing with the 2020 lows. All right, that's pretty much it, traders. We did lose a chicken yesterday, so I had to go down there and take care of stuff like that. Sorry, we cut out about 10 minutes early. And we're going to be getting out of here now because the markets open up here in the States in about 3 minutes. So this is Doc from North America. We will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel, and it'll be Friday. So happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be Friday TGF. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders.